Have you ever caught a faint smell and quietly wondered, is that coming from me? It's not an easy subject to bring up, but body odor in older adults is far more common than most people realize. And it's not because someone stopped caring about hygiene. In fact, the real reasons often hide in plain sight, tied to small habits or natural changes with age that no one ever talks about, until the problem appears. Body odor in seniors isn't about laziness or neglect. In many cases, it's the result of simple mistakes that get overlooked as the years go by. Shifts in skin health, reduced mobility, or even hygiene routines carried over from earlier decades can quietly create odors that were never a problem before. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 of the most common hygiene mistakes that doctors say are behind unpleasant body odor in older adults. These mistakes are subtle, often unnoticed, but once you recognize them, you'll see how easy they are to fix and how much they can improve your comfort and confidence each day. Whether you've started to notice something yourself or you simply want to stay one step ahead, this list is essential for every older adult to know. No one should ever feel embarrassed in their own skin. You deserve to feel clean, fresh, and proud of how you carry yourself every single day. And make sure to stay tuned until the very end, because mistake number 5 is something many people actually do to cover up odors, but instead it makes the problem even worse. And once you understand why these things happen, it might completely change how you think about hygiene. So let's dive in. Mistake number 1. Wearing the same clothes for too long. One of the easiest ways body odor sneaks up on people, especially in later years, is through clothing that's worn just a little too often. We've all done it. You grab a shirt that looks clean, it doesn't feel dirty, so you figure, why not wear it again? But here's the catch. Even if your clothes look fine on the outside, they can still be holding on to sweat, natural skin oils, and invisible bacteria from the last time you wore them. And that buildup doesn't stay hidden forever. Over time, it seeps into the fabric, and eventually, it creates an odor that clings to your body, even after you've taken a shower. This is especially true with undergarments, socks, and anything that fits close to the skin. These areas are warm, moist, and provide the perfect environment for bacteria to multiply. And here's the key. It's not the sweat itself that causes odor, but the bacteria feeding on that sweat and oil. Many seniors are surprised by this, especially since they may not sweat as much as they once did. But the issue isn't always how much you sweat. It's how long sweat and oils stay on the fabric. The longer they linger, the more time bacteria has to break them down and release unwanted odors. Take Harold, for example, a 77-year-old who lived alone and stuck to a predictable routine. He wore the same house shirt and lounge pants 3 or 4 days in a row. He never noticed a thing, but when his daughter came to visit, she gently pointed out that his clothes had developed a strong, musty smell. Harold was shocked. He thought his daily sponge baths were enough to stay fresh, but the hidden culprit was the clothing he kept reusing. Once Harold started changing his clothes every day and laundering them more regularly, even he noticed the difference. His home felt fresher, and his own body smelled cleaner. This isn't about vanity, it's about comfort and quality of life. When your clothes are clean, you feel better in your own skin. You move with more ease. You even sleep more peacefully at night, especially when your pajamas and bedsheets are fresh. Of course, laundry can be physically tiring for many older adults, but there are practical ways to manage it without feeling overwhelmed. Break it into smaller loads instead of trying to do everything at once. Ask a neighbor, friend, or family member for a little help if needed. Or set up a simple routine that makes it easier. Socks and underwear always get changed daily, shirts every other day, and heavier items like pants rotated as needed. Keep a small basket in your room just for items that are ready to be washed, so they don't get mixed back into your clean clothes. And remind yourself, washing clothes that only look clean is not wasteful. It's a form of respect for yourself, for your space, and for the people around you. When you change what touches your skin, you change how you show up in the world, and you deserve to feel refreshed, cared for, and confident every single day. Mistake number 2. Missing moist areas and skin folds when bathing. Many older adults take pride in keeping themselves clean, but one of the most common hygiene mistakes doesn't come from skipping baths. It comes from not washing certain parts of the body thoroughly enough. As we age, our skin naturally changes. It becomes thinner, more delicate, and less elastic. At the same time, shifts in body weight can create folds in areas like under the arms, beneath the breasts, around the belly, or between the thighs. And what happens in those places? When they stay warm and moist, bacteria and yeast thrive. If you don't carefully wash and, more importantly, dry those areas, you create the perfect environment for odor to develop and persist. It's not that someone didn't bathe. The real issue is that moisture became trapped in areas that are harder to see or reach, so they often get rushed through or skipped altogether during the bathing process. The odor that develops from this isn't like the usual surface smell. It can be sour, musty, or even sharp. And what makes it more complicated is that the person experiencing it may not notice it right away, especially if they've gradually become accustomed to it over time. Take Eleanor, for example, age 80. She was meticulous about her hygiene and took showers every morning without fail. But her granddaughter noticed a faint sour smell whenever she leaned in for a hug. One day, she gently asked Eleanor if she was drying under her chest and belly after bathing. Eleanor paused and admitted, "No, I usually just let it air dry." That one small change, using a clean towel to carefully dry those skin folds, made all the difference. Within just a few days, the odor had completely disappeared. And this isn't only about smell. When those areas stay damp, they can quickly develop rashes, fungal infections, or raw, itchy patches that make it painful to move, bend, or even sit comfortably. That's why it's so important to give them a little extra attention, not just with soap and water, but with a soft towel and gentle care. If you find some areas hard to reach, a soft washcloth or a long-handled sponge can make the process easier. Take your time. Use a mirror if it helps. And after washing, be sure to pat, never rub, each fold dry. Some people even use a fan or a hairdryer on a cool setting to gently dry those tricky spots without irritating the skin. Here's another tip. Avoid talcum powders or heavily perfumed sprays in these areas. While they might seem like a quick fix, they can actually make the problem worse by trapping moisture or irritating sensitive skin. Good hygiene isn't about scrubbing harder. It's about being more mindful, giving the parts of your body that don't get as much air or light the same care and attention as the rest. Because when you treat every inch of your body with respect, you don't just feel cleaner. You carry yourself with more confidence, comfort, and ease in everything you do. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights helpful, please comment the number 2 below so I know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss future videos. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Mistake number 3. Poor denture and oral hygiene. You can be spotless from head to toe, but if your mouth isn't getting the right kind of care, that alone can create persistent, unpleasant odor. As we age, many of us lose some or even all of our natural teeth, and dentures become a normal part of life. But what many people don't realize is that dentures require a completely different level of care than natural teeth. They can't simply be rinsed under water. They need to be cleaned thoroughly every single day. If they're not, they quickly become a breeding ground for bacteria, food particles, and yeast. And that buildup doesn't just stay on the denture surface. It spreads across the tongue, cheeks, and gums. It settles into tiny crevices you can't see, creating hidden layers of bacteria. Over time, this leads to what's often called denture breath, a dry, sour odor that no breath mint or quick mouthwash rinse can cover. Even worse, if dentures are worn overnight or not properly soaked, they dry out, lose their shape, and create tiny abrasions on the gums. Those small injuries make the mouth even more vulnerable to infection and irritation, adding to the problem. Left untreated, this kind of poor denture care can lead to inflammation, painful mouth sores, and even infections, all of which make odor more intense and much harder to manage. I remember meeting a gentleman named Frank, age 84. He had noticed that during conversations, people sometimes stepped back slightly, though he didn't understand why. He brushed his dentures each morning, but he never removed them at night. Eventually, his dentist discovered the problem, a fungal infection called thrush, caused by bacteria and yeast building up on unclean denture surfaces. Once Frank began a simple routine of gently cleaning his dentures every day and soaking them overnight, the difference was remarkable. His breath improved almost instantly, and just as important, his confidence in social settings returned. This isn't only about odor. Poor oral hygiene has real effects on your overall health. Bacteria from the mouth can travel into the bloodstream, raising the risk of heart problems and other serious conditions. For older adults who may already be managing health challenges, this added strain can make things worse. That's why your mouth deserves the same consistent daily care as the rest of your body. So, what can you do? Start by brushing your dentures with a soft bristle brush. Skip the toothpaste. It's often too abrasive and can scratch the surface. Instead, use a denture cleaner or a mild dish soap. Always soak them overnight in a proper solution and give your mouth a chance to rest by not wearing them for at least 6 to 8 hours while you sleep. And don't forget your gums and tongue. Use a soft brush or a tongue scraper each day to remove buildup that contributes to odor. And one more vital point, keep up with regular dental checkups. Even if you wear full dentures, your dentist can spot small problems before they become painful or difficult to treat. Even if you no longer have natural teeth, your oral tissues, jaw alignment, and dentures still need regular professional care to stay healthy. Your smile, whether natural or supported by dentures, should always feel clean, fresh, and pain-free. The way you care for your mouth has a ripple effect, influencing not only your breath, but also your comfort, your confidence, and how you connect with the people around you. Mistake number 4. Skipping full-body showers or using too little water. Many older adults gradually shift from full showers to sponge baths or quick rinses. And this usually isn't because of laziness, it's often a matter of necessity. Concerns about mobility, fear of slipping, or simply the fatigue of going through the whole process can make daily showers feel like too much. That's completely understandable. But here's what happens over time. When you consistently use too little water or skip showers altogether, your skin doesn't get the full rinse it needs to wash away dead skin cells, excess oils, and odor-producing bacteria. Soap by itself can clean the surface, but water plays a crucial role in physically lifting and carrying away what soap alone can't reach. Without that rinse, buildup gradually settles in, leading to odors that persist no matter how much you scrub. Think of it this way. Imagine washing dishes with only a sponge and never rinsing them under running water. You might move the grime around, but they'll never feel completely clean. The same principle applies to your skin. That's why water, simple, clean water, is such an essential part of hygiene. Now, to be clear, sponge baths can absolutely work and are often the safest option for many seniors. But they need to be done thoroughly, covering all parts of the body, not just the face, armpits, and hands. Skipping areas or using too little water leaves behind what your body really needs to wash away. Areas like the back, behind the knees, inside the elbows, and around the hips are often skipped without realizing it. Yet these are the very spots where sweat, bacteria, and dead skin cells tend to collect the most. Another issue many people face is using too little soap or not rinsing it off completely. Soap residue that stays on the skin can actually mix with sweat and natural oils, leading to odor rather than reducing it. Take the story of Marie, age 79. After a hip injury, she switched to sponge baths for safety. She thought she was doing well, cleaning herself daily, but over time she noticed a faint, stale odor that just wouldn't go away. Her physical therapist gently suggested adding a thorough full-body shower with warm water and gentle soap once a week, while continuing her usual sponge baths in between. The difference was remarkable. Her skin felt fresher, her clothes stayed cleaner longer, and perhaps most importantly, she regained a sense of dignity and confidence. So, if you've cut back on showers because of safety concerns or physical challenges, you're not alone, and you're not wrong to be cautious. But there are ways to make bathing safer and more comfortable. Installing grab bars, using non-slip mats, sitting on a sturdy shower chair, or trying a handheld shower head can completely transform the experience, reducing risk while making it easier to stay clean. And if bathing still feels overwhelming, consider scheduling help from a trusted family member or a home care aide just once a week to assist. You don't need to shower every single day, but your body deserves a full, gentle cleanse on a regular basis. Remember, odor doesn't always come from neglect. More often, it comes from the small shortcuts we take when trying to conserve energy or avoid discomfort. Give your skin the chance to breathe again, to be rinsed, soothed, and restored. This isn't only about removing an unpleasant smell. It's about reclaiming the simple pleasure of feeling genuinely clean from head to toe. That fresh, light feeling after a good wash is more than comfort. It's dignity. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment the number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss future videos. Your support allows us to keep creating content designed to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Mistake number 5. Masking odor instead of addressing the cause. When people first notice an odor, whether it's on their body or in their home, the natural instinct is to cover it up. A quick spray of perfume, a dusting of scented powder, maybe even a heavy-duty deodorant that promises 24-hour protection. While these products can provide temporary relief, here's what many people don't realize. Masking odor without removing the source almost always makes the problem worse in the long run. Artificial scents don't cancel out odors. They simply mix with them. And what you're left with is a layered smell that's more confusing, harder to ignore, and often even more unpleasant for others than the original issue. This habit is especially common among older adults who grew up in a generation where body sprays and powders were part of everyday hygiene. But when those habits are used as substitutes for actual cleansing, they don't solve the problem. They only cover it up for a short while. In fact, scented powders can sometimes do the opposite of what you expect. Instead of freshening you up, they can trap moisture against the skin, which makes body odor even stronger. Especially in warm areas or places where the skin folds, heavy perfumes sprayed on unwashed clothes or unclean skin can have a similar effect. Instead of covering the odor, they amplify the musty or sour base note underneath. The result is a smell that's both chemical and organic, and far more difficult to manage. I remember meeting a man named Samuel, age 81. His son mentioned that Samuel always carried a faint, unpleasant smell when they hugged, even though he wore his favorite cologne every day. The truth was simple. Samuel had been skipping his evening showers and relying on cologne to freshen up. But the combination of old sweat and strong fragrance only made the odor worse. Once Samuel returned to rinsing regularly and switched to a fragrance-free soap, the change was immediate. His skin felt lighter, cleaner, and more comfortable. And when he did wear cologne again, it added a subtle, pleasant touch that enhanced his cleanliness rather than competing with it. Here's the real truth. Fragrance is best used after good hygiene, never in place of it. If you enjoy wearing scented products, there's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure they go on clean skin. Think of fragrance as the final polish, not the cover-up. And if you choose to use powders, be mindful of where and how you apply them. Avoid areas that tend to trap moisture, since that only worsens the problem. Opt for products labeled as talc-free and hypoallergenic, or consider simple cornstarch-based alternatives. These can help reduce dampness and improve comfort without adding overpowering scents. Ultimately, the goal isn't to smell like a flower shop, it's to smell like you, clean, fresh, and well cared for. When you address odor at its root, you no longer need to hide behind heavy perfumes or artificial scents. You can stand tall, feel confident, and move through the world without second-guessing what others might be noticing. That kind of quiet self-assurance is worth far more than the strongest cologne money can buy. So, as we wrap up, let's take a step back and reflect. We've walked through 5 of the most common hygiene mistakes, each one subtle, each one completely fixable. Which of these sounded familiar to you? Which one caught you by surprise? The truth is, staying fresh and odor-free isn't really about what brand of soap or spray you use. It's about understanding how your body changes with age and adjusting your habits to match those changes. Your skin, your mouth, your digestion, your mobility, all of these naturally shift over time. And that simply means the routines that worked for decades may no longer work in quite the same way. But that doesn't mean you've let yourself go. It means you're living in a body that's different now, and that body deserves the same level of care, respect, and thoughtful attention as it always has. Every small adjustment matters. Changing your clothes daily, taking time to dry skin folds properly, cleaning dentures thoroughly, giving your body a full rinse when possible, and skipping the heavy perfumes in favor of true cleanliness. Each one of these simple shifts can make a dramatic difference in how you feel inside, in how others experience being around you, and in the confidence you carry through each day. And the best part is this: none of these changes require expensive products or complicated routines. What really makes the difference is a little more awareness, a little more intention, and a little more kindness toward the body that has carried you this far. Whether you live alone or with family, whether you are 60 or 85, the truth remains the same. You deserve to feel truly clean. You deserve to feel good in your own skin, to move through your day with confidence and ease. And most of all, you deserve the peace of mind that comes from knowing you are showing up as your best, most refreshed self. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned in this video and how you plan to use it in your daily life. Your thoughts matter to us, and reading your comments gives us both encouragement and motivation to continue creating meaningful content for you. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support allows us to keep producing content that informs, inspires, and uplifts seniors everywhere. Wishing you good health, happiness, and peace. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you never miss the next video.